Okay everybody, time for another TF2 quiz. What was the first major update in Team Fortress 2?
One shudders to imagine what inhuman thoughts lie behind that mask. What dreams of chronic and sustained cruelty.
Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, welcoming you to a new series I've been thinking of doing for a bit. A little introspective series into TF2 and its past updates. Now, it's no secret that TF2 has had a ton of updates over the last 10 years. 588 as of this video, in fact. Jesus, I'm fucking old. Wow. I felt I would share some stories and some facts about past updates to inform you hip-hopping young dudes the hip-haps of the TF Tizzle and how it used to be Izzle. Is that how young kids talk? Naturally, of course, I will be starting with the first ever major update. Now, I want to say, I wasn't around for this update, kids. I'm not that old, and I am most certainly not a square. I'm still cool, I'm still with it, eh? Regardless, as I'm sure some of you know, TF2 went for a long period of primarily making class-specific updates that added all new items and achievements and stuff. And sometimes, as a cool bonus, even new game modes. So let's see what the first ever major update was about. Goldrush. Goldrush. Goldrush? Yeah, believe it or not, this was the first ever major update, the Goldrush update. You know, that one payload map that has the most bullshit to attack last point in the history of ever? I swear that shit wasn't fucking tested. However, of course, despite Goldrush perhaps not being the most balanced map of all time, it was at least the first of its kind. Welcome back to Team Fortress 2 Quiz. Alright folks, what was the first ever payload map in Team Fortress 2? That's right folks, Goldrush was in fact a pioneer of payloading. Is that a term? I don't know. And I gotta say, it's really fascinating to see that some of the most favourite maps in TF2 such as Upward and Badwater wouldn't exist today if it wasn't for this old map. Mad respect, dog. You know what? I can now see. The light has shone down on me. I can now see why Goldrush was given its very own update. Nay, the very first major update in TF2 history, for this lone map was one of the first stepping stones into creating the glorious maps we see today. Oh yeah, and I guess they added a new item system and some new achievements and a new video and whatever. Seriously though, I fucking love the presentation on this page. I adore how the Meet the Scout video looks like it's an afterthought, like, oh yeah man, just throw it in there. That'll do. Fantastic. But yes, this pioneer of updates past introduced us to unlockable items. Now I know, it's hard to believe that TF2 ever had a period with no items, but it's true folks. And it was a dark time indeed. But just wait for this bombshell. There were no hats either. But that's a story for another day. Now despite this being the introduction of unlockable weapons, the item drop system itself was yet to be implemented. What? So you had to buy your shit from the Manco store? No, the Manco store wouldn't be implemented for a few years yet. I don't understand then. How the fuck did people get items back then? Did Gaben descend from the heavens and bless only the sacred few with the gift of unlockable weapons? Not exactly. He kind of did that for a weapon further down the line, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Gather around, children, because I'm going to tell you the hidden secret on how the Neanderthals unlock their weapons. Get this. This method is even around to this very day. But this way of old is only remembered by us old few. Remember how I mentioned a ton of new achievements? Well, they were all for Medic, like all of them. It was a bit weird at the time having 33 general achievements for all the classes to share and 36 all to the Medic, the greedy fuck. Well, there were 3 extra achievements buried in there called Milestones. Milestones are achieved after completing a certain amount of achievements, but what people don't seem to realise these days is that by getting a milestone, you were rewarded with the corresponding item. You see, these days, what with the random drop system, I found a lot of new players don't notice that the third Sandman they got was not in fact a random drop, but rather a reward for completing Scout Milestone 2. Now, this begs the question as to what TF2 looked like back then. My god, I wish I was there to see the abundance of medics running around all screaming out for each other. It would have been a medical monstrosity. But anyway, with each of these milestones, players would receive in this order: the Blood Saga, the Kritzkrieg, and then the Ubersaw. You wanna know a fun thing about these items? Being the first 3 unlockable items in the entire game, as far as I can tell, they have been almost unchanged since release. I guess Valve cared more about balancing the first few weapons in the game more than any preceding them. It's weird because I plan on making this section talking about how different the weapons were back then, but there really isn't anything too crazy different about them. Like, okay, yeah, maybe a few tweaks here and there, but nothing really notable. But yeah, I suppose that's it for the very first major update in TF2. I spent way too long working on this. I hope to make this a series that doesn't take too long to make, but who bloody knows with me. Anyway, I'd like to take this smooth transition to talk about the tip of the hats. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only TF2 YouTuber who talks about it, but it's literally happening right now as this video is going up, so yeah. Tip of the Hats is a charity event being held on Twitch where they are playing a lot of TF2 and any money raised is going to charity. Even if you can't donate cash, you can also donate some TF2 items which will be converted into money, which is fucking cool. Now, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, I just think it's a good call. And if you got some time to kill over this weekend, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. Anyway, I have been Ihasnotomato. I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely plan on making more in the future, but don't expect to have one like every week or whatever. I have some other plans for this Friday segment. Yeah. So anyway, I have been Ihasnotomato, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.